morning and welcome to the Point. It is Friday, October 1st, 2021. Thank you to those of you joining us on the GBN, Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, the website www.gbn.gd, GBN TV, channel 7, 11, and 20. Good morning to the listeners of Classic 105.5, 105.9, and the folks joining us on Party Grenada and GoToFed Facebook pages. It is open phone line here on To The Point, giving you our viewers and listeners an opportunity to call us or message us with anything that you'd like to share. Now is the opportunity to do so. The landline number 435-2041. The WhatsApp number is also 435-2041. Please only written messages on WhatsApp, and you can post your comments, questions, queries, concerns on the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page and the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. Let's go to our first caller while I catch my breath to me. Good morning, caller.
Good morning again, Blossom.
Good morning, Tanti. How you do?
Well, I just have hanging in there, you know.
Stay hanging.
To you and knowing what's going on in Grenada is so sad to know that we're dying out one by one, two by three. The whole of Grenada is going to go if we don't pray to God. We have to keep on praying, not one day at a time or 2 days free. You have lockdown in all the time, and you're praying a day's free. We have a national day of prayer. We have to pray every day, every second, every minute, every hour. We have to talk to God. He's the only way, the truth, and the life. And no one could save us all from COVID-19 is Jesus. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and we are his children. We are the flock of sheep, and Jesus is our shepherd. We are the flock. We live to love and serve the Lord God with what he asks us to do. Love one another. People don't have no love in the world today. You walk in the road, they want to trade them because they don't have no love. They're not helpful. They're not giving. I go to the health center. I have security to go in to pass some water in the washroom. I say, secure, I'm 84 years and I'm going to pay some. I cannot stand up there with the wall. He said, no, your arm hole. A little bit of my arm was showing. He said, you cannot come in, but I leave him to God. And I did all my other trust with those who have love. I go pay the bill by Grand Lake, the security help me. I go by floor, they help me, they send me early, leave all who come long before me. Let these elderly help, they say. Let them have something in them that you show that you love them. You have to love the elders, you have to love one another. You see, in the world today, we have no love. If the people in the world have love, everything will be all right. They have too much hate, too much evil, and they're doing too much crime. They commit too much crime, too much wrong things in the world. They turn Satan, they hanging themselves with rope, they're killing one another every day. The police officer, we have to pray for them because they are the helpers. They protect us. We don't like them. Nobody don't like them. I love them. I love the law. When I go to town and I say, officer, morning, my officer, have a blessed day, take off your self. They say, yes, miss, we need prayers. And I just pray for them because they are our protector. They are all God put on to help save his children. If we don't have the law, what going to happen to us? The crooks and them, they come in your house, they steal all what you have. Boom, they shoot you down when they're gone. They walk in the street, the police officers look out for them. When they catch up with them, they drop the whole virus for them. The police and they can't come out again because they had the virus. I want the police officers to get well, to help save us because they're risking their life to save us. People have to remember there is a God who loves us. Pray every day, every second, every minute. Talk to God. Now we're talking about food. The gentleman come and he say people like to eat macaroni and cheese, and they like to eat macaroni and spaghetti. One packet of macaroni could make a meal for a whole for 6 people. One hand of banana cannot give one man a meal because you know why? You have to pay $4, $5, $6 for 6 grains of bananas. And when you open them, it's only skin you get in. A little tin like a pencil. You don't have no food in it. The food we have to buy now, we have to buy macaroni, we have to buy spaghetti because they could make a meal for your family. Banana cannot give you a meal. You're buying it and you have to go into with all $5. And $5, 2 for $5. Where we getting it from? We working for the vendors, we working for the people who plant the gardens. The sweet potatoes you cannot buy because it's $5 a pound. When you put it on the scale, 2 with a pound, $5. You buy 4 potatoes, you put $10 for it. No, we cannot feed on the vegetables and the ground provision because it's not helping with the family. It can make a meal for no one that you sit down and say, okay, I got this and put it on and say, when you open it, you don't have nothing in it.
Okay.
So let us live with love and unite with us, live with peace, love one another, do what God asks us to do. Love, love, love. Love makes the whole world grow. And if you have love, God's going to help you do what he asks you to do, the more love will come. You have to wait on the Lord and he could help save us. He could send the cure only that you'll be free again from this COVID-19.
Okay.
God bless you, brother.
Thank you, Tanti. Have a good day. Thank you very much, Tanti. Yes, the COVID-19 related deaths continue to be troubling. I think 2 were recorded yesterday, bringing the total to 141. 140 of them were recorded in the months of August and September. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm good. How you do?
I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm thanking God for life and health and strength, and thank God for protecting us. At this time, we are in a serious time, but God is still looking over us and protecting us. We just need to do our part. And I want to make a little while now, I want to call and make some observations. And I think the caller just before me have a trend of thought of what I want to talk about. So maybe that is a pressing issue. It's about our cost of living. And our cost of living, especially, I mean, foreign food, you have to pay money for it and you have to import it and all that stuff. But for local stuff, I find our cost of living is really high. And I find at this time and this stage in our pandemic and all that, we need to be a little generous and a little more open and caring for the need provided for people. Our food is too expensive. Everything is $5. We get 2 plantains is $5. A breakfast costing $4. I mean, we have an abundance of food in this country. In order to blessing us with good soil and food spoiling. And yet, the farmers or whoever, the sellers, trying to make a lump sum out of it, trying their best to capitalize on everything. I mean, we don't have to be selling everything in all this costing so much money. We have to learn to share as well, you know. And God loves a cheerful giver. If we give, we will get back. And I experience that every day. And I'm blessed so much. I don't have a garden. I don't have no land, position, much things to provide. But whatever I get and I share, I get more back. So it comes back. When we learn to give and we learn to share. He also says in his word that, you know, if he gave, it comes back to us in good measure, pressed down, shaking together, and running over. Our people must learn to share, must learn to give, and stop being so rapid and scheming in what they're selling. Most of the time, they go back home and the things are spoiling, you know. The nation needs to be fed. We need to feed people. People don't have money to buy all this. Everything is $5. If people reach a level amount and they stop for the money or reduce the prices and let's live in, as the lady said this morning, let's live in love and share. Okay. You know? There's one side. The second thing is our sanitizers. I don't understand the science behind it. I wish I could understand it. But why our sanitizers have to be so expensive? This is 110,000 people have to use sanitizers all day long. Why we pay $20 for a bottle of sanitizer from a local producer? They're making money. They're making a lot of money. Even though it costs $10, they're still making money based on the turnover. I don't understand why we have to be paying all this money, especially for sanitizers, when we have to be using that all day long. Okay. This is my comment, and we need to lead our nation. People must learn to share, give, and give freely, and
all right. Okay.
Love you.
Thank you very much, caller. Let me check the social media before we go back to the landline. Somebody on Facebook says, vaccine and God go together, get vaccinated. Still on Facebook, somebody says, please bear in mind you cannot pray to God with hate in your heart and expect an answer. God only answers fervent prayers. Amen. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
My contribution this morning is a request to the government. I think they should shut the country down. No, they cannot put economy in front of life. I think life comes first, because if there is no life, there is no economy. So they should not be putting dollars and cents in front of human beings. Because if you think about it, right? Now, I have seen in 1974, when we had a lockdown for like 3 months. 3 months, there was no light, no water, no nothing. And the economy never died. Economy don't die. The economy may take a nosedive. It wouldn't die. And that is to all the economists out there. We had a problem with Ivan. The economy never died. People do die. Economy will go down a bit, and as soon as things settle down, it will come back up. We had the Ivan, we had the 1979-83. The economy took a lash, fine. So I think they should shut the country down to save life. This is like murder, she wrote. It's like Mr. Phillips said last night. How many more should die? How many more should die before they try to save life? And putting economy. Why is the economy is important? They should not be putting the economy in front of the death of people. Now, all these people that have passed, you could tell their family anything about economy. All they knew, they lost their loved one. They will never get them back. Even though the economy go down a bit, the economy will come up. Right? And I think the whole idea of this death of the people, I think it's systematic. It is systematic. It didn't happen just so. Because we all know how the virus came to Grenada. Now, I'll give you a little example. Now, the authorities blaming the jab. They're blaming the jab, but not that jab alone must take the blame. Who let the virus in should take the blame also. I'll give you an example. Take a bucket of mud, bring it to the well, and someone throw the mud and dirty the well. Who should take the blame for dirtying the well? I think who brought the mud to the well should take as much blame as who threw it into the well. Now, these people developed this nonsense about this 2 days quarantine. Hence the reason we are where we are today. Now, the science, I heard Dr. Sean, he said the scientists and the science say after 10 days, you cannot pass the virus on. Can't we lock down the country for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks? Within that time, the virus will actually die out. And then we could go back to where we was in June, July. You understand? Now, if you think about it, how critical and how terrible the situation is today. Even the children cannot go to school. You understand? It is affecting people mentally. And that mental problem, it will go on for many years after the virus. Many years after the virus. It is affecting people mentally. It is killing people physically. It's killing people spiritually because people cannot go to church. The church cannot come together. So actually, it is killing people. And you telling me you're doing that to protect economy? I mean, come on, they have to do better than that. I think the whole idea of allowing the virus to come in is death for vaccine. I think that's the trade-off. Death for vaccine. Because if we can remember, no, Dr. Mitchell went on TV. He showed that he was taking a vaccine. It did not work. They give $10,000. It did not work. You understand? So I think, in my opinion, the last straw was death for vaccine.
Okay.
And that is the situation in which we reach today. And I think they should stop it and put the life of the Grenadian people. Dr. Mitchell has to understand, it's the same people that voted for him.
All right.
And when one minute.
No, you just took 4 minutes actually. Thank you very much, caller.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. I give you a little bit of extra time, and you can't get any more at the moment. What I would say is that there are people who would disagree with closing down the borders, especially the people who depend on the open borders for their livelihoods. The airport is already struggling. Closed borders will mean no revenue for the airport, which would mean possible loss of more jobs at the airport. A lot of people are depending on, while some may say it would help us in the long run, closing for 2 weeks, some people would disagree because they may end up on the borderline for longer. So some people may disagree with you, sir. Somebody on Facebook says, people, let's keep adhering to the protocols, please. Those going out of their homes should take precautions on returning home. That's how many senior citizens are dying. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom. And how are you?
I'm good. How you do?
I'm okay. This is Dr. Andrews, Dr. Pett speaking here.
Good morning. All is well?
All is well for the time being.
Okay.
What I want to tell you that, there are people who have the virus. They know they have the virus. They call you. I had at least 2 experiences where I went to a client to give her pet, to inoculate her pet. And then she had the virus. She had just cleared the day before. And she came outside, which she had on a mask. So I usually take preventive measures. I have my gloves, my mask. I sanitize. I even pass the sanitizer on the mask sometimes. But I really protect myself. And when I come home, I put the clothes aside and I put it in the washing machine and so on. But some people, they know they have the virus and they still call you and they will come close to you. I mean, that's not right. Once you know you have the virus, you need to stay inside. If you have a pet, leave the pet in the veranda. Tell the vet, you could treat the animal in the veranda or get somebody that does not have the virus. But they have the virus and they still call you, and, that's not good. I mean, I've had a few cases like that. I went to a woman, she was very honest. She said, Dr. Andrews, a white lady, she had the virus on a yacht 6 months ago. She was very honest, and I said, okay, but I know I'm protected. But I'm saying this to say, even people walk in the street. I know people walk in the street and they have the virus. They tell them stay home, self-quarantine. But this self-quarantine, Blossom, is not working. Do like other countries. Once you have the virus, as Mr. Ambrose said yesterday, you get a place to put you, isolate you for 14 days. And you will see how the virus will reduce in the country. They will have less cases. But people do not want to do that. Because Ambrose said yesterday, when you are self-isolated, you had 5, 6 people in your house. They will get the virus too. So then these will keep on rising. And that's the problem. And people need to take the supplement. I'm not forcing anybody to take the shots. I realize when I tell people about the shots, I get a lot of backlash, so I'm just leaving them. I'm leaving them. So it's up to them whether they want to take the shot or not. But I think they should sanitize, and that is very important. Most of the time I go any places, you touch a knob, I go down to the school as you, I go to any supermarket. Remember, the virus will stay on the surface for a few days. A few hours. So, for example, someone sneezes, and it goes on the doorknob or something. You could get the virus very, very easy. That the Delta variant is very, very easy. You catch it very easily. So every time you touch the surface, for example, you push open the door, I go to Farmer Gardens. Even there, I sanitize my hand also. Any place I go to, I sanitize my hand. But I'm telling people, Blossom, you know you have the virus, stay inside. I know people have the virus and they go all about the driving their vehicle and they're moving, they're giving people a ride. I do not give anyone a ride in my car. I'm fully vaccinated. That doesn't mean I can't get the virus. Probably I may not get the virus as strong as people that are unvaccinated. But I do not give any ride in my car. And I have to put a no rider sign on that vehicle. That's my contribution, Blossom.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pat. I appreciate your contribution this morning. Thank you. That's one of the reasons why, especially those of you who are doing home visits because of your profession, not to socialize. Because of your profession, you need to take extra precautions because some people are not always honest and forthcoming with information about their COVID-19 status. So you just need to always protect yourself and be cautious. I would say treat everybody as if they're positive. Whether they have it, they don't have it, they had it and they were medically cleared, whatever it is. Treat every situation as if everybody is positive. Take precautions, those of you who visit homes, because of your profession. That's the part I want to stress at this point. All right, let me go back by Facebook. Somebody says, my concern is a COVID test. My concern is the COVID test is too much. Imagine Grenadians have to pay over $400 for a test. Please, Minister, do something about it. Thank you. Good morning, caller. Morning.
I'm calling from St. Patrick.
Hi, morning. Good morning to St. Patrick. Go ahead.
Yeah. Tuesday night in my house, I had a trampoline in the house and after Ivan in my veranda. Somebody came inside the house, cut the trampoline and go with it. And it's curfew, it happened about after 11 to 12 in the night.
So somebody stole your trampoline in your veranda?
Yes. I have it for 16 years.
Do you know who it is?
No, we don't know. We didn't see who it is. It happened about after 11 to 12 in the night.
And you sure
the dog grumble. But he didn't really back, so I didn't get up. When I wake up in the morning, he said the trampoline gone. The person came to the veranda. They cut the trampoline in 3 places to get it to go with it. It's a heavy-duty trampoline. Yesterday, rainfall Wednesday morning, my whole veranda went out to run dry water. It's very nice, right? And they have coffee out, and they have coffee in place. It happened but after 11 over to 12 at night. And they have coffee. So the person still come and push in the night and you're inside your house.
That's sad. That's where
very,
we
very
reach.
sad.
We teeth and tapping now. Okay.
Just after 11, since Ivan had a trampoline in the barn, it's a very, very heavy trampoline. One person can carry it. You have to bring somebody with them because if you cut it inside the veranda, you'll fall on the ground over here. But you have to bring somebody to help them hold it at the bottom. And they go with it, So you're in the house now, you don't see. If you're outside, you don't see. You kill a man, they say you take it right in your hand.
You never know. You just might see them using it. Sometimes we forget where we get things and we start using it as though we bought it. You might see somebody using it. You never know.
So anybody that knows somebody didn't have a trampoline and they see them have a trampoline, a green one, belong to me. Get the police.
A green trampoline. Is that green?
Yeah, green, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you very much. That is where we reach with Tiff Tap. Wow, grenadiers. Okay. Tiff and Tapping these days. All right. That was on side of it. Okay. All right, let me see what's on WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says Grenada is becoming a nation of beggars because of our own ignorance and lack of understanding of basic science. Somebody on WhatsApp is inquiring, can you donate blood if you are vaccinated? According to the medical professionals, yes, you can. Still on WhatsApp. To deny anyone use of a toilet is a big shame. To deny a senior citizen use of a government toilet in a health center is worse. The security should be sent to work somewhere else. Still on WhatsApp. Tell the people get vaccinated. I find it for the grave. I feel it for the grave diggers and the undertakers. They are tired. And this WhatsApper says, good morning. I believe the caller before this one, some people claim to call themselves children of God, and they are the most wicked ones. I see them every day. They call them haters. You can be preaching God, and you're hating people. I pass through that, but I am still praying for them. Amen. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, Blossom.
Morning, how you doing?
I'm doing quite good, thank God. And like you, whenever the numbers go up, it's somebody's grandmother, somebody's mother, somebody's father, brother, uncle, son, and it is sad how many we have lost. And you notice that Barbados has about 8,000 or more cases, and they have fewer deaths than us, about half our death toll. And it's simply because when they had a major expansion, they had Alpha. But when our expansion came on the Delta, and Delta is deadly. So you'll find our death toll is going to be very much higher than people with similar numbers like us, because our numbers are made up mainly of Delta cases. And that's sad. It's hurting us really bad as a country. And I believe that we have a responsibility as individuals to take care of ourselves and to do the part that we have to play. You remember, I was very strong in early August when they were talking about the Juve and the other things, and giving people the day off, and I said day off to do what? And people took offense because they said they should get a day off to do whatever they wanted, and I said instead of giving a day off, the government should lock down. But promise them a day afterwards to use as they choose, as a way. The government could have done that, and they didn't do it. And we saw what the outcome was. And I also still feel that the people who went out there, and their faces were on television screens, they were on social media, they should have been charged or ticketed. The government chose not to do that as well. And this is very sad. Yet we're hearing a lot of talk about it being spread by the revelers. Have you ever seen any news report or any official document from the government stating that there was a link between one person who was in that Juve and a COVID case?
No, I have not seen one.
I have not seen. They have not provided any evidence, and that's what they should be doing. If you get 5 people who were there, and people know they were there, and they came positive, that is evidence to show that there was a link. To date, I haven't heard the government provide any evidence that there were people who were out there who had it. It may be that they were, but they have not said it. So we just have to assume that they have not found any. But they continue to say it because of those that spread it. And to me, this is irresponsible. You must, whatever statements you make, they should be fact-based. I think, though, the government is culpable. You know why? There was a time when we were on the amber list by UK and other countries. And we were amber because of our low vaccination rate. You remember the time? They said we didn't have, although we had no cases, we didn't have a high rate of vaccination enough to give them comfort. Now the government knew that. And a low vaccination rate means that we are vulnerable. Don't tell me that England will treat us differently because we have a low vaccination rate, and we will treat ourselves differently as well. So knowing all that, we still open our borders in a very, I'm not believing in closed borders, mind you. We opened it in a very lax way, knowing the low vaccination rate. People have a right to be vaccinated, yes, but it is what it is. And if you know the rate is low and the risk is high, then you have to be more careful with your border entry protocols.
Okay.
And up to today, we still have an entry protocol which is much laxer than Jamaica and everywhere else. Right? And to me, the government has failed us in that regard.
Okay.
And they must be made responsible in some way for doing that and continuing to do it. I'll speak more about it another time.
Okay.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you very much. And on that note, let's take a break. This is To The Point here on Classic and GBN. We will be right back.
Let's get tough on greed and larceny. It will destroy our economy. Larceny threatens our food security. Can hurt us locally, hurt us globally. To all the buyers, ask for license from all produce sellers. To all people, 300 for police for them thieving fellas. To all families, don't steal produce from your brother. Then you sell it to traffickers, hotels and street vendors. Nah, man. Let's do all we can to stop greedy and larceny. New vigilance, new laws, and a tough judiciary. Stop Grenada's organized business crime. It's time.
To report greedy and larceny, call 300.
There's no better way to start your day than with me on Good Morning Grenada. Good Morning Grenada is your one-stop shop. We have information, education, entertainment, your bi-weekly traffic cam, and we link up with the sister isles of Carriacou and PT Martinique. Join me every 6:35 on weekdays for Good Morning Grenada. It's your daily dose of all things Grenadian, mixed with just a little bit of crazy. Good morning, good morning. I said just a little bit of crazy. I tell all of the things that take me. Good Morning Grenada, 6:35 a.m. on weekdays, available on all GBN platforms. Start your morning off right.
Protect yourself and our community from COVID-19. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 70% alcohol. Use a tissue when blowing your nose, sneezing, or coughing. Immediately discard the tissue properly and wash or sanitize your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Let's do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. To stay up to date, visit the Government of Grenada's webpage or the Ministry of Health's Facebook page. For more information, contact the Ministry of Health's hotline by calling 53-VIRUS. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
That's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you...
Welcome back to The Point. It's Open Line Friday here on the program. Once again, the landline number 435-2041. The WhatsApp number is also 435-2041. Only written messages on WhatsApp, and you can continue to post your comments on Facebook and YouTube. Let's go right back to the landline. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Citizen Welsh. Greetings.
Morning, Citizen Roller. How are you?
Couple of things here. I'm quite all right, thank you. Listen, your last caller made a very significant point. Very important. But what I would like to advise him is, for the moment, let us just document these observations, because it makes absolutely no sense to me at this point in time to be apporting blame. Document it, and when the moment comes for what I refer to as the autopsy, then we will evaluate, assess, and lay the blame squarely at the feet of those responsible. Let us, at this moment, put our efforts in getting out of this melee that we're in. Secondly, Citizen Welsh, I'll be brief, don't worry, I know my time limits. Your callers, previous caller made some significant points, but I want to refer to the second caller who spoke of the quote-unquote, my word, profiteering of certain people in this here country abusively. But you know something? Profiteering in a country can only occur when it is permitted by the state apparatus. And you know who leads the profiteering efforts in this here country at this point in time? The said government. The said government, listen, you look there, you have capacity to get it, and see the price of the tests on the international market. And you will see, and see how much they create, how much they asking or demanding of the people in this here country to the rapid test or the antigen test, as they call it, $11.40 EC on the international market for something, I think. Listen, and here it's from 150 to 350, permitted by the state of Grenada. You understand my point? Profiteering. But we will note that too, and we will reclaim on them. But let me tell you, finally, it has gone. But anyway, we'll have to come back. You know, sometimes I get worked up so much. We may have to come back because I lost. You know, when you're getting old, I never think. All right, Citizen Welsh.
Thank you, Citizen Rolo. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. Thank you very much. All right, let me go back to Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says, these are selfish, ignorant people spreading the virus. Somebody else says, testing should be free like everywhere else in the world. Yes, that was a comment, but I think it was a Facebooker. The tests, most of the tests are free, particularly the rapid tests are free. If you are part of the contact tracing, and if you are part of contact tracing, the PCR test, if needed, is also free. Most times what you need to pay for is if you need to carry out a test and get the documents for traveling purposes. That's when the price would come into play. But there are different prices, which I don't understand. I should ask that question. There are different prices according to where you get the test. Some places it's $400, others are $3. I think I've heard of one that's $2 something or the other. So it depends on where you get the test, but most times it is free. Let me see. Let me go by WhatsApp. Let me read a WhatsApp before I go back to the landline. Somebody on WhatsApp says, I agree with the caller. Close the country for 2 months. Number one, people still not using the masks properly. Unfortunately, I don't know what else we need to say. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Ms. Blossom. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How you do?
Fine, thank you.
Lovely. Go right ahead.
Yeah. What I want to find out, like, say if you're going to a medical station to test your blood pressure, the thing they put in your hand to test the pressure, if someone go in before you and test, when they come out, another person go in, they test, then our next person go in. You can Could you catch the virus by shoving your hand in this thing because you do sanitize it?
It is.
Yeah, I would like to know.
It is possible because it is possible. Because if the infected person using their hands maybe wipe their face and the virus is still on their hands by the time they shove it through the thingy, they could probably rush.
Yes, yeah.
Rush it. So it is possible, in my opinion, and in what I'm visualizing, it's possible.
Right, but this thing could be sanitized?
It should be. After every use, it should be. With or without COVID, it should be sanitized.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You know, that's something I never thought about. But with or without COVID, the equipment should be sanitized after every use because you never know what's happening with a patient or from patient to patient. And especially now in these COVIDious times, there are little simple things that we sometimes overlook as possible spreaders of the virus, you know, and that could possibly be one. I'm not saying that it is overlooked, but it could possibly be one. So good observation, caller. I need to be paying more attention now. Thank you. All right, let me go back by WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, let's focus on Carriacou and PT Martinique and the way contracts have been given to people who are not qualified but supporters of the NNP administration getting all the contracts and thousands of dollars spent on projects where the work to show for it. Sometimes the contractors have no idea what they are getting into and mostly one person getting most of the contracts. On the other hand, On the other hand, Nawasa, you need to come to Carriacou and address the present project issues that's unfolding with your project that needs immediate attention before things really get out of hand in Carriacou. All right. WhatsApp, I would also suggest calling Nawasa directly and speaking to somebody who can assist, whether it's Nawasa in Carriacou or on the mainland. They may not be tuned into the program as we speak, and some on the mainland may not be aware of whatever the issue may be. So I suggest you contact Nawasa themselves and express your concern in case they are unaware and it's something that they really need to handle expediently. Ooh, big word. All right. Landline. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. I just want to express something that happened to me this morning. I live in the south of the island, and I was sitting having my cup of tea, and I saw a young lady walking with what we call a G-string, as the ladies you would know, and no bra in her, and a bottle in her hand, and I could have thought she running or something like that. So having decided where she could be coming from, I phoned the institution to ask that, people walking the street from there knows that we have a dress code in Grenada of some sort. And, we shouldn't be walking the street naked or half naked. Well, I was more than surprised because when I phoned there, the young man did not want to hear the story. Why are you telling me that she has a right to walk in the thing? It's a free road, and the road belongs to the university anyway. So I said, well, says who? He said, they maintain the road. I said, I am a tenant on the road. I'm a citizen and a taxpayer of the road, and I wasn't told that. And then another lady come and say, they could walk anyhow because they are feeding us. And I find this is sort of distressing because I cannot go in America and walk on the road half naked. And if people are going to the gym, they need to be dressed properly and not with their breasts outside or any of their private part. I am not a prude. I know the anatomy of the body and everything like that, but I think we should have some standard. I have been to a lot of countries where I had to put head tie, mask, dress up and everything. I don't expect that to happen here because we are Westerners. But of course, you must know. I don't think people should be walking, showing their private part just because they feel they're on a road that they maintain.
So let me just understand. So the young lady was wearing her underwear and nothing on top, or she had on a vest but no brassiere?
No, nothing on top. Nothing on top. And I could tell you, Blossom, I am very familiar with the anatomy. I have worked as health worker for years.
So you're saying all she was wearing was her underwear?
Yes.
So her breasts were exposed?
I seen the breast. I saw the breast. I know what is a breast. I see the breast. I mean, I see the breast. Yes, there was nothing on the top. I am assuming she come from the gym because, the thing. But again, if you go into the gym, you will dress yourself in a reasonable manner and go to the gym and then walk, have respect for the road. I just cannot understand this. Yes, wow. That is exactly what has happened.
Okay.
So I haven't picked up with others, but I just feel, and then to go on to you, a lady was saying that she went to a government institution, an elderly lady that had her sleeves out, and she was turned around. And I know it has happened because I know people go to the hospital and they are turned around when they just had their sleeves off. And yet, because it's certain people, we can't say nothing. Or we allow them because she must have passed several people on the way. She must have passed a gate to come out from where she was coming. And yet, our elderly people or our people in distress cannot. So why the double standard? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. I mean, I know sometimes you give foreigners more leeway than our locals, but that's not half naked. That's 3/4 naked. And you raise a concern that I have with the leniency we have for visitors / foreign nationals. And the response of the person that you spoke to, that is a cause for concern, which means they probably allow these kind of things on the regular. So maybe, ma'am, you can call a higher up than the person you spoke to and express your concern and share your concern and take it further so that they can actually put things in place, because underwear alone, man. Local parlance that is going above and beyond, but that's Blossom. Okay. And then you can go in the complex with sleeveless and in the hospital. Somewhere to working out. All right. You Facebook before I get in trouble. Somebody on Facebook says, but did you should you safeguard yourself by asking them, in relation to the doctor that called, did you safeguard yourself by asking them before you go to visit them if they have or anyone in the family is unwell? Okay. So inquire before going to the house. All right. So in relation to the stolen tarpaulin, somebody on Facebook says, we thief in anything that ain't tied down. So people, tie down yourself before going to bed. Another Facebooker says, Mr. Bernard, get to the bottom of the issue. Don't blame the jab. How many jabs died from COVID-19? What about the quarantine measures? Another Facebooker asks, do we have special regulations for the burial of non-COVID people? I understood all to be 20 when I heard the church minister make the announcement. There are no special regulations. All funeral services will be held at the cemetery for no longer than an hour. And I think 20 people is the maximum allowed to attend. 20 sounds like a lot. 20, I think it is, allowed at the facility. I've seen people complaining about if it's non-COVID, why they can't go inside the church or in the building. The primary reason is still COVID. While the deceased may not have passed from the disease, there may be people attending the service that may have it. And according to the science and health officials, there's a greater chance of COVID circulating and being spread inside buildings compared to outside. So they do not want to bring people in enclosed spaces just in case there's an confirmed case in the midst, they prefer you stay in the open air where you have more chances of social distancing, the 20 of you, for less than an hour. All right, let me go back. Let me stay on WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says, Mr. Bernard, Mr. Bernard, the borders can't remain closed till COVID disappears. We people don't like us. They travel to come home on vacation and spread the virus, so they don't like us. They are out to destroy us, then quick to say they are dying boxes and barrels. Maybe they put COVID in the boxes and barrels to kill their people so they won't have to send things for them, plain and simple. We people brought it here. Wait, what? I don't understand. Back on WhatsApp. I think the government should mandate those who have been vaccinated to carry their cards and police do random checking in the streets. If they do not provide their card, give them a time frame to produce it. Why? Still on WhatsApp, I want to big up the hardworking police departments, teachers, the entire hospital staff, doctors, nurses, orderlies, and others, and my sanitation workers around the country. Wow, they really keep the place clean. Please be counted as being vaccinated. I want to big up all our frontline workers, whichever industry sector that you work in. Big up all yourself. Good morning, caller.
Yes, it is. Welsh, I beg your indulgences for 1 minute.
1 minute.
Precisely. Listen, I note with concern that even over the years I've been clamoring to GBN, that's the station I listen to convene a team of legal specialists, constitutional specialists, or even career politicians to the station on a program to answer some questions relative to the constitutionality, or should I say, the legitimacy of the constitution of this here country. And that cannot be done. Do you have any specific reason? I say that because even recently, a group of us here called Rastas had their say on the radio. Why is it one set of people can have their say and others can't? Or is it those people are denying the opportunity of the Grenadian people to have their views on the legitimacy, legality, and validity of the constitutionality or foundation of this country, so that the people can make decisions for themselves. Therefore, I urge you to consult the professionals, the legal fraternity, the Bar Association. There is a president, there is a vice president. The constitutional gurus, you know them, I've named them to you. The so-called Governor General and so-called Prime Minister, those career politicians, bring them out so that they can answer some questions from the people of this country. It's time that we face this matter up front.
Okay.
Thank you very much and have a nice day. Will you?
Thank you very much, Citizen Rollo. You do the same. I confess that I have lapsed in my attempts to get that interview conducted. It's been a few months now since I haven't followed up. COVID-19 has taken over much of my thoughts, and I'm sure a lot of people as well. So it's been a while since I have followed up on getting that interview conducted. Just recently, the Bar Association actually had an election. What month are we in? October. Sometime earlier this year. There's a new president, a female. I have to confirm her name, but I would restart my efforts soon. I can't say when, but I would restart it soon. Honestly, COVID-19 is primary among things. While I understand the importance of the discussion, COVID-19 has really taken over much of discussions in most sectors, most people, but I'll soon restart it. I just had an idea of somebody else that I can contact for that same, as you were mentioning it. But don't worry, I'll follow up soon time. Let me go back on Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says, there is no country in the world I can think about that has no virus. Grenada tried a lot. Stop the blame. Let me go back on WhatsApp. Somebody says one of the guests on Beyond the Headlines on Monday, who is a bus driver, did say he played jab, not vaccinated, and contracted the COVID. Another WhatsApper says, I am free vaccine. If I am going by my mother, I will wear my mask. When my niece and nephew come over, they are wearing masks and sanitize in the veranda before they get inside of my house. Anyone else, they have to remain outside and still have to wear their masks. When I go to the supermarket, I will sanitize on my way in and out, on the bus in and out. When I reach home, I am sanitizing in the veranda. Take my clothes off, but put it in a washing machine before I enter my house. And there are people who are not vaccinated, not wearing a mask and not sanitizing. Okay, so it's not I am free vaccine, I am fully vaccinated. Okay, I'm assuming that's what you were going to write, WhatsApp. A lot of people take precautionary measures, and I suggest you continue doing it. Even if you're the Lone Ranger, continue doing it. Like somebody on WhatsApp before Citizen Rolo called, said, I'm not hearing Citizen Rolo. I hope he is doing okay. Yes, he is doing okay. He just took a little break from calling, but as we heard from him this morning. All right, let me go back to the landline. No caller. Okay, let me go back to WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, no, let me go by the landline. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. I'm calling beyond the...
On to the point?
Yeah, to the point.
Go right ahead.
Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, Blossom, morning.
Morning.
I see something with my eyes. I don't know what can be done. I'm not a doctor. I'm not judging. But I took a bus from town going to the Bolio Way, and while I was in the bus, I realized someone was very sick in the bus. They was very sick. Then sometime earlier in this week, I was going to Springs direction. I took a bus. The bus went to the gardens. And when I got in the bus, I saw this lady there. She was sweating. So in my mind, I say, she has to be sick. Something wrong. Why is she sweating like that? Boy, so the person dropped out up in the gardens there. And she was at the door to open because there was no conductor. And when this woman opened the door, the same one that is sick, she fly outside and she vomit. And after vomiting, she, the same hand, she take it, and pass it by her mouth. She was in like her 30s, 40s. And after seeing that, oh God, she came back in the bus, right where she was by the door, and the same hand that passed in her mouth, she passed it on the door because she had to close in the door. I say, oh my God, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I am not saying the lady had COVID. I have no proof that she had COVID. But if that person have COVID, you know how many people could catch that COVID now by having to come with the bus because there was no conductor. You know, when you come with the bus, it tends to hold it. And the worst part is when I see her take money and pay the driver because she had to stretch over the driver now to pay the driver. Not stretch over, sorry about that. She stretched and paid the driver. And the driver now had to give her back change. I say, oh my God. The one or two people who was in that bus, we just look at one another and shake our head because we felt hurt for the woman too. Because imagine, maybe she can't afford to pay a taxi to go back home. And then if it was you went and it was COVID, they realized they should not be letting people go back on buses. The government have to see how they could help out. And people who, as I said, I don't know it, but I'm just saying that people who have COVID, when they go to test or they go to a doctor, they should have some hotline to call, and you bring these straight to somewhere where they're collecting COVID cases instead of you have sick people up and down on a bus. The buses right now, I want to believe, is spreading COVID more than anywhere else. So this is what I have to say, Blossom. It's something I see with my eye, and I just feel I must share it. And I know if there's people listening that what the bus, they'll know I'm talking the truth. Okay then. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, caller. Listen, I don't want to scorn anybody, but had I been in the bus, sorry, but I would have local parlance, I would have heaved out. I apologize if I'm hurting feelings, but I ain't taking no chances. So that's a problem, that you don't have a conductor, even if there's everybody on the bus, quote unquote, well. Because different people touching the bus door to open and close it is a recipe for problems. The driver, well, then again, I was going to say the driver has a duty to ensure everybody on the bus healthy, but then and I remember President of the Bus Association, Garth Woodruff, a few weeks ago when he was on the program and in interviews, he has expressed concern that a lot of people who have been diagnosed with the virus are using public transportation to get to and from testing sites, and that is a problem, which is another reason why users of public transport, you need to be careful. Wear your masks. Yes, we are sitting in buses that are packed, but limit talking. Wear your mask. Have your own personal hand sanitizer. You get in the bus, you sanitize. You drop from the bus, you sanitize. You get to change, you sanitize the coins. Do what you need to do to stay safe when you're using public transportation, because you don't know who is who. There's no contact tracing that can be done for public transportation users, because we're not taking names and numbers. So you don't know who is who, when is when, how is how, why is why. So even if you're alone, sit on the bus with a mask, do it, because you just never know. But miss, you're stronger than me, because sorry, I would have heaved the bus. As soon as the puking started, I would have puked out the bus myself. But that's just blossom. All be safe. The thing Coconias, we are at over 1,200 active COVID-19 cases, known cases, the operative word being known. I know there are people who have not gotten tested. They know they have the virus because people in their homes have it. They're just not going and get tested. So that's the people who we know. Please be safe. And this is where we're going to end to the point this morning. Enjoy the rest of your, remember, it's a no movement weekend. We have 6 more hours. Lies. 7 more hours. Nah man, that don't looking right. 1, 2, and 5, 7. Yes, 7 more hours until outside lock. So please stock up on your medications, your groceries, whatever you need to do to get you through the weekend of no movement. Do that. So far, I'm only seeing one testing and vaccination site that will be located at the Marion Multipurpose Center tomorrow, God willing, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Remember to walk with your ID if you're going to get tested and, well, not so much tested. Yes, tested and or vaccinated. So walk with your IDs. I'm going to head on out at the moment. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for participating. Joseph is up next with Mid-Morning Buzz. Enjoy your lockdown weekend. Spend some quality family time. Good morning, Beverly. Have yourselves a good day.